Don't forget the past. Learn from it. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. So, says you covered the important things already. Tell it to gallop. This is a smoother ride than you'd think. Back to your own power. bouncy rubber scrap over there. Believes the rot at the trunk of the tree of life has changed everything, even style. Most just dress in whatever rags they can find. Their pal Juju, though, makes clothes that'd make anyone look fabulous. Says there's no way you can miss him if you see him. Thinks that art like Juju's is even more vital when the world is winding down. You really could use some of that yourself. No reason to stalk the earth in ugly duds. Promises you won't be disappointed. There's a lot on the line here. It's the porky puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that for two big flaming quacks? you feel it? It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Says the Pichu tribe has worked harder than anyone to get respect. Wonders how bad it must be out there for you to be skulking about this late. Hopes to see you again soon. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Understands completely. Listen to all that night noise. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. This is Dixie's goods. There's an outfitter and an upgrade bench dangling in that little blimp. Let's see. Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things. Hopes your custom is worthwhile. Would be disappointing if you walked away empty-handed. It's good someone else can use your old stuff. Done and done. Don't let go. You're too low on scrap. That's a hope hall. Some used to go there every week to join hands and hope together. Not so much hope to go around these days. Sometimes your mind creates an illusion where it's possible to go back in time to relive a moment in your life. We all have things in our past we wish hadn't happened, and can come to remember seeing and doing things that never happened. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Choose the automaton functionality you want to recall. You weren't supposed to know how to start the automaton pew-pew pang, but clearly you figured that out way back then. Such a dark night. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. Let's see. This beast can move. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as Ki energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Gizmo in the West. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Gizmo. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Gizmo and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out-of-date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, move for bo. Boom.
Out-of-date says that Gizmo is worried now that the Western World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Yeah, so what up, move?
He explains that Gizmo is working on a scrap walker vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Yeah, move for bo. Boom.
Out-of-date suggests that you should head west as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Muk bebok.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Muk bebok.
We'll be around when you return. Got a good grip on that beastie? Excellent. Hey, there's some e-waste. This one is Bang Shelter 8F. Wonder how long they held out here. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. This thing has a mind of its own. Old brick-bracks like that, sometimes still full of good things. Says the Eastern World Eater has a huge feathered tail, so you can't miss it. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. There are things out there waiting for you. Look at that metal scrap over there. finding things both here and there. The day is getting on. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush in?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Pah! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!